Hi, my name is Eliana Pereyra, and I'm the Executive Director for Equitable Learning Environments in the Center for Equity and Social Justice. I think that this title is historic for a department that is historic in and of itself, because we are really tapping into and focusing on the experience of our students in classrooms. And I think that because of the structure of our team, which focuses on, again, this broad question of how you create an equitable learning experience for students, we're able to be very intentional and deliberate about how we partner across different offices to ensure that our students have opportunities that service their needs, that understand who they are, and that provide the best supports for each and every one of them. I always go back to where I started. I came to this country at the age of, I must have been 8. I might have been 7 or 8. And I didn't speak English. I always joke that I'm an L for life. I learned English when my family finally settled in New York City, in the Bronx, in probably like 86 or 87. And I felt really lost. I felt like I wasn't sure what the future held. But I held on to my parents' desire to grow professionals. That was my mom's mantra, is you all have to be professionals. And you have to get a good education. That was her only request of us always. You have to get an education. And that has always been my driving force. I worked through school, I learned a lot, I got the good grades, I worked really hard. And most of that was because of the values that my parents instilled in us, that education is truly the great equalizer, that is how we could uplift ourselves and uplift our family, which I think is something, just a very strong value we have, is that we succeed when our whole family succeeds. And so I would always share, and I share this with my students and I share this with young people, I really think about the core values and think about the sacrifices that your family has made for you to be here. I think the United States has a very individualistic society. I come from a culture that is more collective in nature, so my success is really measured by the success of those around me, and that's my family, it's my colleagues at the center and more broadly within APS. And that's something that inspires me and continues to push me even on the hardest days, is to think about how am I ensuring that the collective is better off because of my contributions. So that's something I would share with young people, is, identify what your values are, what do you care about, and think about the legacy you want to leave behind. I am just so honored to be serving in this role. I do not take this responsibility lightly. I am a mother, and I see every child through that same lens. So I walk into a school and I see my kids. The experience that I want for my kids is the experience I want for everyone's kids, because that's someone's treasure that's walking around in our buildings. And my job is to help ensure that we can be our best selves and provide the absolute best environment for each one and every one of those children that are entrusted to our care.